Imagine it's Friday at 4 p.m. Your sales team clicks a single file, and within seconds, your entire company's data is locked behind a cryptocurrency paywall. You are suddenly living an office thriller. Welcome to our deep dive into the SC-730 exam.
Right, it's the stuff of nightmares for any IT professional.
Exactly. So our mission today is to analyze 7 practice questions for the SC-730 exam, and we're going to do this in strict sequential order. We're keeping a deliberate, measured, professional pace here. No rushing through these.
Yeah, we really want to unpack the underlying mechanics of each threat, why they happen and how they actually work.
Right, so let's start right where the tension begins, inside the building. Question 1. A business analyst notices a colleague frequently downloading unusually large volumes of confidential customer records shortly before giving their 2 weeks' notice. What type of security risk does this behavior most likely represent?
The correct answer is A. This is the definition of an insider threat, specifically data exfiltration.
Like quietly sneaking files out the back door?
Exactly. Think of it like a bank teller quietly slipping stacks of hundreds into their briefcase before quitting. The critical part here is how they already have legitimate access.
Right. They aren't hacking a firewall?
No, they're just abusing existing permissions to steal data, usually for a competitor or personal gain. So organizations have to use user behavior analytics to flag this.
Okay, so algorithms that spot when a normal user suddenly acts like a data vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
But malicious internal theft is one thing. Sometimes the biggest threat is just accidental internal exposure, which leads right to our next scenario. Question 2. A human resources director is emailing a spreadsheet containing employee salary details and performance reviews. How should this communication be handled according to best practices for data protection?
The correct answer is B. You need to apply a sensitivity label with encryption.
Because if you just send it normally...
It's essentially a postcard. Anyone who intercepts it can read it. But when you apply a sensitivity label, the system mathematically scrambles the file.
Oh, so the encryption travels with the document itself.
Yeah, that's the mechanism. Even if the HR director accidentally forwards it to the entire company, the file checks the user's credentials before unlocking.
And if you don't have authorization...
It just looks like digital gibberish.
That's brilliant. But, we can have all the digital encryption in the world, and it doesn't matter much if we completely ignore physical reality.
Yeah.
Digital negligence is one thing, but let's connect that to physical workplace negligence. Question 3. During an office tour for external vendors, several employees are away from their desks, leaving printed financial reports out in the open. Which fundamental security policy is being violated in this scenario?
The correct answer is A. That is a clear violation of a clean desk policy.
I have to push back a little here. In the age of cloud computing and zero-trust networks, are printed reports actually still a major vector for leaks?
Oh, absolutely. All your military-grade encryption means nothing if a visitor can just, pull out their smartphone and snap a 4K photo of your quarterly earnings left on a desk.
Ah, right. The smartphone camera is the ultimate bypass.
Yeah, the physical layer is the foundation of information security. If someone can physically see or touch the data, the digital walls are completely bypassed.
Good point. So let's step outside the office now and shift from internal mistakes to devastating external digital attacks. Question 4. A sales team discovers that all their shared presentation files have been encrypted, and a message on the screen demands cryptocurrency for the decryption key. What is the immediate primary business impact of this security incident?
The correct answer is C. The immediate impact is the loss of data availability.
Because this is ransomware.
Exactly. The attackers use malicious software to rapidly encrypt your files. They're using the same mathematical scrambling we talked about earlier, but weaponizing it against you.
And business just completely grinds to a halt.
Completely. Until you pay the ransom or restore from isolated backups, your business is functionally paralyzed. You can't invoice, you can't access client histories, operations just stop.
It's terrifying how fast a payload can lock an entire server. But it is interesting to note how attackers pivot from those broad ransomware nets to highly targeted manipulation. Question 5. Unlike broad generic spam emails, a company executive receives a highly targeted message referencing a specific recent board meeting and requesting confidential documents. What specific type of social engineering attack does this represent?
The correct answer is B. This is spear phishing, and when it's aimed at a senior executive, well, it's called whaling.
Like hunting the biggest targets.
Right. They aren't sending a million generic reset password emails. They're researching the executive, maybe using LinkedIn or stolen internal memos to craft a highly credible narrative.
So referencing the real board meeting is the hook.
Exactly. The psychological trap snaps shut. The victim thinks, oh, they know about the meeting, they must be legitimate, and they drop their guard entirely.
So if the psychology is that convincing, how do we fundamentally defend our systems against these sophisticated credential thefts?
Well, it comes down to making the keys to the kingdom much harder to guess in the first place.
Which perfectly sets up question 6. To comply with a new security policy, an employee needs to create a new password for their primary workstation. Which strategy aligns best with modern recommendations for strong authentication?
The correct answer is A. Modern guidance demands long passphrases. It really just comes down to brute force math.
Because short passwords are too easy for computers to crack now.
Right. A short, complex password, like, the word password with a 0 and an exclamation point, can be cracked by a modern graphics card in seconds. The combinations are just too low.
But a phrase.
Yeah, a phrase like purple monkey dishwasher takes centuries to guess. The exponential increase in character length vastly outweighs just swapping letters for symbols.
Think about the passwords you're using right now. Are they long phrases or just a messy string of symbols? But point out the obvious here. Even the strongest passphrase fails if an employee is manipulated over the phone.
Oh, definitely. The human element is always the weak link.
Which brings us to question 7. A customer service representative receives a phone call from someone claiming to be from the information technology department, asking for the representative's login credentials to fix a supposed network issue. How should the representative respond to this request?
The correct answer is C. They must refuse the request and immediately report the call.
Because legitimate IT will never need your password.
Exactly. The attacker is exploiting human nature, our desire to be helpful or our deference to authority. IT has administrative access on the back end. They don't need your login.
And reporting it is crucial.
Yes, because if they called you, they're going to call 50 other employees until someone finally caves.
We have now covered vital SC-730 concepts ranging from insider threats and data encryption to ransomware and social engineering.